I am getting ready to empty out my whole pantry. If clutter or too many things are the issue, more bins is not going to solve that problem. Some things are working in it. It's not awful. Hi friends, welcome back. My name is Lynette if you are new. I am trying to hype myself up for what I'm about to do. I am getting ready to empty out my whole pantry and to go through things, get rid of, expired stuff or things that aren't good anymore, and reorganize. I feel like some things are working in it. It's not awful, but there's a lot of areas that I can't really see what I have on the shelves, and I think I just need a little bit of better organization. And I am not here to tell you to go buy all of the new organization products and that will solve everything, because I don't think that's the case. I've been thinking about a lot. I was watching someone else on YouTube, and I really do think it's true. I think that it's more a thing of having practical systems that work, and sometimes having all the beautiful airtight containers and all of that is something that does work depending on the situation. But if clutter or too many things are the issue, more bins is not going to solve that problem. So in this winter season, a lot of us are decluttering, and I do it multiple times a year, but the pantry is not one that I do a lot. And I don't have a huge stockpile of things because of, the size it is and everything. So it's not going to be terrible for me, but I just want to encourage you that use what you have, maybe find some other things in the house. I know that I'm going to probably grab some baskets that I'm using in my bathroom, but maybe do something else in there then. Use what you have and maybe buy a few new things. I'm going to get in here, empty everything out. I think that's the first thing that is important to do in any space, is try to empty everything out so you can see it. I will try to link stuff in the description box if I can. If I have stuff that I can link, I will do that. Okay, I've got almost everything out. I didn't take stuff out of the drawers, but I will have to clean them. The shelves are almost empty. I did decide to leave the cans on those shelves because I can see what it is and I can still move them around if I need to, but I do know that there are some containers that are empty and I'm not going to be reusing because I just need to simplify. I'm going to take my very ancient shark vacuum in there and try to get the crumbs before I wipe it all down. I'm getting ready to unbox some things from Thrive Market, which I have often talked about in the past. I love partnering with them because it's actually something that I order from occasionally myself, even when I'm not working with them like on YouTube. It's just something that is super helpful if you love grocery delivery and if you don't enjoy being in the grocery store, going down aisle after aisle, trying to find the right products, especially if you are maybe on a certain diet. So this is such an easy way to be able to find them. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store, and they specialize in organic products, non-GMO, gluten-friendly, paleo, vegan, all of the things. And you can find really amazing prices. Every annual membership sponsors a free membership for a family in need. So you're giving back at the same time. And I believe the membership is $59 a year or something. And they always have, you know, sales going on their app. The app makes it super easy to order all this stuff from. And they have, you know, different freebie items you get occasionally if you're ordering. Just a lot of perks, and you'll often find some of the best prices on here versus in the grocery stores. And I really, really love Thrive Market for that reason. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I got. I actually kind of forgot what I ordered because I've had the box sitting here for a little bit. So I've got the organic shredded coconut, all-purpose unbleached organic flour. I usually try to get cane sugar. Organic cane sugar is what they have. I decided to try a bag of this, the millet and brown rice ramen. See how I like it. And this is a little treat for me or whoever, but they're as close to Reese's Cups as you're gonna get, I think. And they're actually really good. They're dark chocolate. I'm not usually a dark chocolate person, but these are actually really good. And I also ordered some Blue Land product. I love a lot of Blue Land's products. So toilet bowl cleaner tablets I was almost out of. Dishwasher detergent tablets I was also almost out of. I grabbed some of the Mrs. Meyer's dish soap, and I want some of these to just be able to put in the bathrooms under the cabinets. It just makes it easier to clean bathrooms really quickly if you're, you know, in a hurry. I love the Z-bars. I grabbed some Lumino toothpaste. Hello toothpaste as well. This is fluoride free, I believe. What do I have here? Oh, yes, my classic mayo, 100% pure avocado oil. I love this one, the Chosen Foods. Chicken broth, I often get broth there as well. And that is my haul. I've been trying to take steps to just incorporate things that are more healthy for our family, little by little, and Thrive Market makes it easy to do that because you can try out things. There's reviews on the app. When you're looking at the products, people will give reviews, which is really helpful. So if you're interested in trying out Thrive Market and you never have, you can find the links in my description box or go to thrivemarket.com/Lynette Yoder to get 30% off of your first order, plus a free gift worth up to $60. I just love what they have to offer, so many different things. So again, thank you to Thrive for sponsoring today's video. I think I'm gonna try and from here on out, try just putting my pasta, like just leaving it in the boxes they come in. I find that, you know, I switch between different kinds and then I don't have the same kinds, and then there's like containers that are way too big or they're not labeled right, or like it's like an extra step. And while it might look nice and it kind of works, I think I need to just try and simplify things. So I'm gonna try and put them in a basket. So it kind of contains things, but I can get the whole basket out and see what I have. I don't get like bulk amounts of things. And so that might also make a difference. If you have big amounts, this method probably won't work for you, but because we're limited on extra storage, my pantry is basically all I have. I don't get a lot of bulk items. And so, you know, I'm dealing with every week. I go multiple times a week to get food, quite honestly. So I feel like my pantry is so full of containers and I can never get to the right ones or see what I have. And this is just, I think it's gonna be easier for me. All right, I am done. And this is everything that I am not going to be using anymore. And I'm thrilled. Honestly, I think this was a lot of it. These small containers, they just added visual clutter. And a lot of times the amounts weren't quite right. And I think I had done a collab with this company, 4 or 5 years ago, probably. They worked for a season, but I just felt like these were not really functioning the way I want them to. So I might hang on to a few of them, and the rest I'll probably just donate. Also got a couple of these. Okay, so here I put all big ones, which I'm very thrilled about because it's not as cluttery. I have all the same, sizes. These are ones I already had on hand. I have all my main things that I would need like big amounts for, including an extra if I need like quick oats to refill it or something. And I have baking powder and baking soda in 2 of the little ones. This has worked well, so I'm keeping that. And then on the top shelf, I have more baking supplies. So essentially that's what's in the airtight containers is the baking supplies. And so I've got all kinds of different things and I kind of know what I use now. And if I think I have like 1 or so extra that I'm going to keep because that means I have an overflow, if I do need it. And it looks a lot more streamlined and I can still reach it like this, but it's not something that the kids will need to get. Plus, I've got a step stool in here a lot of the time. So, in this basket, I'm going to need to figure something else out for my bathroom, but it's okay. This is my baking basket. So, I've got anything baking related. Cake mixes. I always like to keep these cobbler mixes on hand from Calvin Bed Mill. I've got an extra little bit of flour that didn't fit in the container. Some tapioca, corn muffin mix, pancake waffle mix. So that's going to go in there. I think that's going to work really, really well. Same with my pasta and rice basket, noodles, you name it. Anything in that type of thing, I'm putting them in here. And I can just grab the basket down. Easy peasy. When I come home, I'm not worrying about refilling stuff and trying to get a right container for it and all of that. And these are new. So these were from the Target dollar spot or the $5, whatever you want to call it at Target. These are new like this January. And turntables, if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that that is something that I have loved for years and years and years. It just helps you reach spaces that you can't access well. And this is one of those. So instead of having to dig through, bottles and everything, I had one with compartments, but I felt like the open one works better in this situation because you always have like a fluctuating size of different bottles and stuff. And so I've got oils and vinegars in here. And then in this one, I've got spreads and honey, essentially. And then in the far back, I have like extra dressings, mayo, just like extras. And those fit okay into the little compartments. And then I still have an extra one. That's what I did for that. And then on my counter, I'm still going to keep this. This has been working okay. It's my bread basket. I just throw whatever bread or tortillas we have in there. And I am leaving the soups and canned goods the way they were. I just kind of reorganized it and I purged a couple of them that were expired, like on the top shelf. By the way, I love the Yo Mama's brand and I should actually check on Thrive to see if they have this. And it is made from just plain ingredients that you can read. Fresh tomatoes, roasted garlic, fresh onions, white wine, basil, olive oil, salt, oregano, black pepper. So nothing bad in it, no preservatives, nothing. Yo Mama's, I was like, I'm going to try it. I saw a bunch of them at Ross for really good price. Sometimes I make my own, like marinara or pizza sauce type of thing, but I haven't gotten around to that lately. And so that's a good pizza sauce, by the way. And then this shelf, or the main like countertop area, it might not look that great, but that's okay. This is what works for us. I did put my blender over here, and I have the toaster right beside it, and I've got my knife block, that, and then the bread box. And then here is my KitchenAid, and I also put my syrups back there. I don't use those much for coffee, but I have a few things on hand. And then my Jevi ice maker stays here. So my drawers in here work really well, and I did not really change much in this because it's a system that actually does function. So with me saying that don't just go buy all of the organizational bins, there is a time and season for it, and there are certain places that it does work well, and maybe it works well for me, but it might not for you. But in this situation, I have an organization system that I've been using for a couple of years now, and it works very well, and I like it. And it still looks somewhat organized, and that helps my brain a little bit. So there is a time and place for it, but I'm trying to simplify some of the things that maybe you see in the aesthetic pantries where, you know, everything is in bins, and maybe if you have a really, really big pantry, that works. But this, I mean, I'm so thankful for this pantry. We kind of carved it out of the kitchen when we remodeled and everything. It's a big pantry from what I've ever been used to, and I'm very thankful for it. It's a walk-in, and I can kind of put stuff in here if I need to hide it or whatever. It functions really well, and I'm so grateful for it. So it is a lot bigger than a lot of people's, I know that. And so I've tried to utilize the space as best I could and still having systems that work. This drawer is much the same as well, crackers and popcorn. I have 1 or 2 children who just love popcorn, and a husband that love popcorn. And yes, I'm aware that these individual ones, microwave popcorn, are not as good for you.
They're very good for you.
But I don't have time to always get my big popper out every day, and if they get it out, it usually doesn't get put away, you know, then I'm dealing with that. So this is a lot easier. So what my favorite kind is the kettle, Boom Chicka Pop, the kettle one. I think that's probably the most healthy one I've tried that works. So I do have regular popcorn in here too. So graham crackers and crackers in here. And I put these in here. Wonder how soon they'll find them. We'll see. Last but not least, I'd like to thank me. You guys know that, you know, that reel that is around. This one I simplified as well. So combine some things. I can see everything better. It's just not as big of a mess in here. So this is like puddings and stuff like that, jellos. Here's all of my cookie cutters. Here's cake decorating supplies. Here's sprinkles and cupcake liners. And then here I have a couple of random things that I didn't really have a home for. This is another kind of like the odd, weird things with baking that I don't use much, but still need a place for. A couple of random things. This is like to house cookies and things if I'm gonna, you know, bake and give it to people. And then I've got some of the wafers. So I don't keep these on hand like all the time. So I just put them in there. We have our microwave here. And then underneath, this is my paper disposable drawer. And I'm gonna try really hard to keep it like this. I mean, I'm clearly missing the plates, so it'll fluctuate a little bit. And then generally it'll overflow into either the laundry room or in here. And this is my potato onion bin. I don't have any onions, and this sometimes has some of the same stuff. And I know that I should not put onions and potatoes together in the same thing, but I've not really had issues with it. I don't keep a whole ton of potatoes, and I don't often have a lot of onions either. I'll just keep like 1 or so in the fridge. That way they're not really, I don't have a ton sitting here, so it hasn't mattered too much in my opinion. So I've got an apron hanging here and a little bag. So that's the pantry. I'm very excited about it. Just get a little bit of a refresh, and I think this should work very well. And the last place is under the sink. I need to go through this. All right, here's the overview. Not a lot changed, but I did move a few things around, and I need to restock some things maybe. Some more sponges, or like the magic erasers, and I've got some dishwasher and washer tablets that are like for cleaning the machine. I forget to use them though. This is my dishwasher pods, essential oils. I don't use a lot, but that's kind of where I'm keeping some. Then I've got some extra stuff here, my strainer, my cutting boards, and I've got this extra towel thing here. A lot of times I keep the paper towels over here, so I need to get a proper holder for them, but yeah. You need to go out? He's ringing the bell. He's getting better at it. The next spot is my laundry cabinet under the sink. I need to go in there and evaluate and see what needs done because it is just, there's not enough room. So I've got to go declutter and reorganize that right now. Hopefully I can do something with this in here. And if you hear a lot of background noise, it's the girls. They're playing. I have the Blue Land laundry detergent tablets. This is one of the products that I don't love from Blue Land, if I can be honest. So I think I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't feel like they do the best job. And I really like the Truly Free laundry detergent. It's non-toxic. And you just get the pouches. They look like this. You can also get unscented. And there's a signature scent, which is this one. And then you just put it into warm water. And that's it. So then you can just buy the refillable pouches. Same with this. This is laundry softener. I don't really use softener very much. But if I do, I'd rather have it be, you know, a clean version of it. I do have this one here because I think I ran out of something once. And so I like having some that is for sensitive skin. I'm guessing this is not as clean as, you know, they tout it to be, but anyway, it's probably better than something. I do have some laundry sheets. This I don't use very much, but there's certain things that sometimes you just need a little something. I've got Epsom salts in here. I feel like I don't need these in the laundry cabinet. It was probably because I didn't have a good place to go with it, so I'm gonna see. Got Aunt Fanny's. Oh, this was from Thrive. I should use it. And then this is a microfiber cleaner from Norwex. Okay. These bins you can still find at Target, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but this is also a turntable. And I like these for bathrooms because this one has like 4 compartments. I just have them divided into 2 right now because I didn't need the 4, but I like it because it's deep. Okay, this is a water filter for the fridge. This one is very nice. You can take the cover off here, but it's an extendable thing that'll go under your fridge, your washer, tight little places. If I remember, I'll try to link it, but then you can just wash the cover. This will actually work pretty well for these things. Refill. This is a wrinkle and static releaser from Truly Free. Another thing I keep on hand all of the time is the Miss Mouth Stain Eater. It's a non-toxic stain treater. Gotta have it. Pretty much a miracle worker. So I'm gonna put this here. That's my backup. And this one also does a pretty good job. Mine's almost empty. Maybe I'll just keep one of these on hand if I ever run out of something. That way I have a backup. I've got these. These are the Blue Land tablets that you put into the containers to just add it with water. Here's the Blue Land bottles. What I really should do is just get a couple more to put in each of the bathrooms. That way I don't always have to run around. I think that's the biggest thing. This thing gets like carried around. This is the multi-purpose. There's a bathroom cleaner. And I think those are the 2 main ones that I use. So I think I should just try and get a couple more bottles and then I have enough and they're not constantly circulating. Okay, so this is my backup. All right, here we go. It doesn't look that much different, but I know that it's not just like completely overflowing now. And I have a spot for things, even though it's a little random. Sometimes you need those areas, so glad that is done. So I never finished out the video the other day, I realized, and I wanted to say thank you for coming here to my channel today and watching. And hopefully it is something that was helpful and encouraging in some way, hopefully gave you motivation and maybe just a little bit of a boost to get some organizing done in your own house. And always just remember that simple is the best method. The other thing I wanted to mention is just a reminder, go check out Thrive Market if you haven't ever, and use my code Lynette Yoder for 30% off plus a free gift worth up to $60. And hopefully you all have a very blessed week. I will see you next time. Bye.